Okay, so I learned from my first cancer nearly 30 years ago that, life's fragile and we don't know how many days we have. So now with this second cancer, I am highly motivated to declare God's faithfulness and power to this next generation, and to tell these stories of ways that He's acted, and I've seen Him real and big, not exactly like in the Bible, but like the same God of the Bible, just active in a normal person's life. And I'm hoping that these stories open your eyes to who God is, who He can be in your life, because I'm just average, and this is how I've seen Him. So for this abstract random gal, you might think I'd go chronologically, but I'm inspired by summer. Okay, and so the last time I told my diamond story, summer story, here's another summer story. Our family has been involved with refugees before the whole refugee thing has been big in the news, and we have become great friends with refugees. In our area, there's World Relief, and World Relief resettles in the Wheaton and Aurora areas. And so there's a lot of refugees in our community. Okay, so one summer, we had the opportunity. World Relief was hosting a summer club. They do that every year, for kids, grade school kids, to kind of help them, prepare for school and give them something to do. And this year, it was my second year volunteering, raising a team of people from my school, the Greenhouse, to help with Writer's Workshop. And where refugee kids come, and they're partnered with volunteers, and the volunteer helps them get their story, their coming to America story, down on paper. And it was just such a good fit. I was scared to do that, but being a writing teacher and helping kids tell stories in my own classroom, I was like, oh, I love this, and what a privilege, to hear kids tell their stories and get them out in a written form. So I was so excited. We had this team. Okay, and this particular year, we had also been involved in with the Chin refugees, okay, from Burma, and they had their own church at our school. All right, so once a year we would have this Great Chin giveaway. And people from the Greenhouse bring all kinds of stuff, and it gets all set up. And then after the Chin church service, the Chin come out and they take what they need, and they're in great need. Okay, so things that are we just have so much extra, we give. Okay, so this particular summer, I had been outside with the little kids, and there were bikes donated, and the kids were loving playing on the bikes, but there weren't nearly enough little bicycles, riding toys for all the kids who wanted one. And so I tucked it away, Becky, be on the lookout for that kind of thing. So one time I'm, and this may be 2 years ago, driving through Savers to drop off my donations, and the guy in front of me, he unloads his truck, and he takes out these two trikes, and they're not just regular old dumpy trikes. They're Schwinn Roadster trikes, really cool, red, and one's red, one's pink, and with the the bell and the tassels and the thing you ride on in the back and the chrome fender. I mean, like deluxe. I looked it up at home, like $100 tricycles donated. And so when it was my turn, I pull up, I asked the guy, okay, like when are those going to be out on the floor? Because I'm thinking Chin, I got to get those for the Chin. And he said, oh, I'll mark them right now, and you can come in and get them. So, oh my gosh. So I go in, I get them for a great price. I've had a little discount coupon and everything, and I'm so excited. And I know exactly who I'm going to give them to, because at the time, Zach was volunteering for World Relief, and he was tutoring people in English, and he had a family, this man, Gregory, and Gregory had little kids, and I was like, oh, Zach, can you bring these trikes to Gregory? And he's like, Mom, that's not how it works. Like, World Relief has a way of a process of donating things, and and I'm not exactly sure how it all goes, but people get pay with anyway, there's a way. You don't just go giving stuff, that when you're a volunteer, you don't go bringing stuff. There's a process. So I'm like, well, I don't want to do that process. I really want these to be like gifts, like grace. Like they don't have to pay for it. There's no cost to them. It's just like a love lavished gift. You like, here, have this. This is grace, you don't pay for it. So he's like, well, he can't do that. So I have this idea. Well, how about if I bring the trikes to when we go, what it was the church that was hosting the writing club was right beside where lots of refugees live. Like, and I mean, there's a bazillion apartments, all tightly together, and I thought, okay, so after club, I'm just going to drive through the apartment complex and ask God, who can I give these to? And like look for people and trust that God is going to show me who to give these trikes to. So I asked my team, like we're praying in the morning before writing club, asked my team, okay, could you pray? I know this seems kind of silly, but could you pray that these trikes get in the right people's hands? Let's pray, about this. Yes, they would pray. Okay. So after club, I get in the car and I go drive into the apartment complex next door. The problem is that it is raining. Not hard, but enough that all the kids, nobody's out playing, everybody's inside. And I'm going, Lord, there's nobody here. And I've got these trikes in the trunk, and I just sense I need to just keep driving around the square. So I'm driving, not a single person out. I'm looking, who do these go to? I don't know who these are for. And I'm driving around. There's no way. I mean, there's one way through. It's like, I can't even tell you how many apartments, it's real narrow. So I'm driving along and I'm getting to the place where I have to exit or park. And no kidding, I hear that voice again, pull over, take a parking spot. And I'm like, okay. And it kind of was a little scary, and it was kind of like an invitation to an adventure. I'm like, okay, and I was excited. And so I parked, and I'm like, but God, there's nobody outside. There's nobody outside. And I hear, get out of the car and open the trunk. Okay. So I get out of the car, open the trunk, and now I'm feeling more and more like a missionary. Like, well, wow, God is big. God tells me what to do. Like, it doesn't look like there's any hope for this, and yet I'm hearing what I'm supposed to do each step. So I get in, and he's like, okay, get out the trikes. Get out the trikes. I close the trunk. I'm carrying the trikes. He goes, start walking towards the apartments. Oh my gosh. And it's raining. So I've got two trikes, they're heavy. I got two trikes. I'm walking towards the apartment complex going, God, there is nobody outside. Who are these for? And the next thing I know, out of one of the apartments comes this woman, and she looks at me as if she knows me and greets me with this big smile, and she's wearing a baby on her back. And oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see her too. And I'm thinking, she's the only one here. Maybe these are for her. And I'm, after we greet and I'm, loving on her baby, I go, do you want these? And she's like, yes, she wants them. And then a little girl comes out from the apartment and hangs on her mommy's legs. And it was a girl from the club from the morning who I recognized, and she recognized me. And I was so excited to give those, like God did, even in the rain. God gave those trikes to who he intended them to be for. So then I get in the car. I'm so excited to go home and tell Zach and Jackie what God had done with the trikes. And so come home, I'm like, you guys, and I go through the whole story. And Zach says to me, Mom, which apartment did she come out of? And I explained exactly the apartment, where I was in the square and where he's like, that's Gregory's apartment. Like, oh my goodness. And he said, she would act like she knows you because they have our family picture framed like on their on their living room wall. So she has seen you, and she would feel like she knows you. You were there for her. I'm like, no kidding. Out of all those hundreds of apartments, on the rainy day, those trikes, the grace gift got to Gregory. God overcame all the obstacles. Those were meant for him, and they got to him. Now, I was is that for sure his apartment? Because is it for sure? And the kid, its age matched with Zach, knew of Gregory. And so the next day, sure enough, I go back to club and I ask the names of the kids. And sure enough, that is Gregory's daughter. Those trikes got to Gregory's family. So when we need to know that we know that we know that God is directing our paths. Oh my gosh, look how he does. Or how his purposes, he fulfills them. The grace gift for Gregory and actually happened in the rain. God got those trikes where they needed to be. He can do anything, and he directs our paths. Oh, and if you wonder about the red hair, be watching the blog, because I have quite the story to tell about how this all came to be. Okay, great. Bye.